The Council of Trade Unions is calling for electricity companies Meridian, Mercury and Genesis to be brought back into full public ownership. The union body believes partial privatisation of the electricity market has prevented investment in new power supply, leading to rising energy bills and de-industrialisation. Political correspondent Zane Small explains.
The Kinleith Mill in the South Waikato town of Tokoroa has been shedding industrial workers. Paper production ceased in June, and today confirmation that local plywood manufacturing will end, together costing hundreds of jobs. It's a similar picture in Nelson, with the Eves Valley sawmill shutting down and Griffin's Snacks looking to close its Proper Crisps factory.
Many of those companies closing down, saying part of the problem they've faced is increasing energy costs and electricity bills, meaning that those businesses are unsustainable, meaning that New Zealand is effectively de-industrialising.
The Council of Trade Unions today released a new report making the case for a return to publicly owned electricity. It suggests the partial privatisation of our electricity system has prevented growth in our generation capacity and ultimately delivered rising energy bills for households and businesses and huge dividends to gentailer shareholders.
The CTU believes that the experiment with partial privatisation essentially hasn't worked. We generate the same amount of electricity that we did 10 years ago, despite the fact that there are around 1 million more people in the country.
It goes back to 2013, when the Prime Minister of the time, John Key, sold 49% of the government's shares in Meridian, Mercury and Genesis to private shareholders. The report suggests it's led electricity providers to be disincentivised to increase generation and instead focus on excessive payouts to shareholders. The Council of Trade Unions believes the government should use the returns from its 51% stake in the three companies to buy back all of the remaining shares and then eventually invest the profits into new electricity generation. But buying all of them back could cost around $13 billion.
$13 billion sounds like a large amount of money, but we're not proposing that the government provides that today, which is about over time using those dividends to start buying the shares back, to start bringing more dividends, because as you more and more shares back into the Crown, and using that to deliver the goals that we want.
The Greens are on board.
We need jobs in our regions, and it is not okay that we've got people having to choose between heating and eating in this day and age.
But Labor needs convincing.
Renationalisation of the existing companies is not at the top of my list in terms of things that we need to look at. We need to look at things like how we store renewable energy, how we provide greater security of supply.
As for the government, well, the Prime Minister wouldn't take questions at an event in Auckland today. Energy Minister Simon Watts sent us a statement saying the outcomes of a review into the electricity market and actions the government will take to support economic growth and access to reliable, affordable power will be released tomorrow. A timely announcement when manufacturing jobs are going up in smoke.
And Zane, the unions are planning major strike action next month.
That's right, it's being billed as one of the largest strikes in New Zealand's history, with 4 unions planning a coordinated industrial action on the 23rd of October. That would include health workers and teachers and possibly more, all striking on the same day. The Public Service Union told us more than 15,000 of its members were considering the strike action, and the Council of Trade Unions told us today that they're aware of other unions that might join the strike action. So if it goes ahead, it could be one of the most disruptive days of industrial action that New Zealand has seen in decades. And of course it comes as some unions have been unable to reach a consensus with the government on collective agreements.